Alright, so we need to find our equation here of a line that is perpendicular to the line y equals 3x minus 5 and goes through the point 3 and 1. So we're first going to go ahead and answer a few questions here before we get to our equation. And our first question is, what is the slope of our original line? So I can see that this is written in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, where my m is 3, which means my original slope is 3. Now the next question is asking us, what is the slope of a perpendicular line? And now I remember that the slope of a perpendicular line is going to be the reciprocal, or the multiplicative inverse, but not just the multiplicative inverse, but the additive and multiplicative inverse, so the opposite of the multiplicative inverse, which is negative 1/3. So I'm going to take my 3, turn that into a fraction, 3 over 1, flip it over, and then make it negative. So my slope of a perpendicular line is going to be negative 1/3. Now we are being asked next, what is the y-intercept of that perpendicular line? So let's go ahead and use our slope-intercept form and find that y-intercept. Y equals mx plus b. Now we're going to substitute in the things that we know. Just like in our last problem, we're going through the point 3 and 1. So our y value is 1. M is our slope. Our slope is negative 1/3. And then the x value of our coordinate point was 3. So we're going to say y equals negative 1/3 times 3 plus b. Now we've got an equation here. We can go ahead and simplify this. So let me go ahead and rewrite it over here so I've got enough room to work. 1 is equal to negative 1/3 times 3 plus b. So let's go ahead and isolate b and get b by itself in order to find out what our y-intercept is. So 1 equals, we'll simplify this a bit first, negative 1/3 times 3 is equal to negative 1. So negative 1 plus b. In order to get b by itself, we're going to add 1 to both sides. Negative 1 and positive 1 is going to cancel out. 1 plus 1 is, of course, 2. So our y-intercept, or b, is equal to 2. So the y-intercept of our perpendicular line that goes to the point 3, 1 is 2. Now lastly, we need to write an equation for that perpendicular line. So we're going to write our equation using slope-intercept form, since we already know our slope and we know the y-intercept because we just figured that out. So y equals our slope. We said our slope was negative 1/3 x plus our y-intercept, which is 2. So y equals negative 1/3 x plus 2.